Alright, here's my poster for my Uno game and the steps that I took throughout the semester to make a program that actually was able to make a functioning game of Uno. Um, First, I started by just playing the game of Uno because in order to make it, you have to know how to play, um, how it works, and all the rules so that we can make it accurately and so that it plays the game correctly. And then throughout the semester, we had 5 milestone assignments that were basically just steps to creating our Uno game. Um, Milestone one was kind of the foundation where we made a storyboard where we explained how like what exactly happens in the game and how it works and all the rules. And then we also made a flowchart that explained all of the logic of the game. So every specific requirement for playing a card and what a player does if they don't have a card and all that. So the milestone one was a crucial piece, and in milestone two, we created an ADT or an abstract data type for each individual object or each noun within the game of Uno. The four objects that I chose were a deck, a player, a hand, and a card. Um, and and in milestone three, we created a UML diagram for each of those classes. Um, and in that, we laid out every piece of each class, what each class has. So a card has a color, has a value, and a hand has cards, and a deck has cards, and so we laid out what each of them has, and then each of their behaviors. And then once we had that, we hadn't even started coding yet, but we had the framework for our code, so we were able to create some code and make the base structure of each of our classes, and we were also able to make them function a little bit. I was able to make mine deal cards to 2 players, and that was about it. And shuffle the main deck that was created, and then and in milestone four, it was all about revision, and how I revised mine was I started over, deleted everything because what I had done previously just did not work with what I wanted to do in the future when it came to using like a standard array versus an array list. It didn't. I just had to completely start over. Um, and then we also revised our flowchart. I made mine a lot neater than it was in milestone one, and it was more accurate. And then my game fully worked after milestone four, and in milestone five, we revised our storyboard. So instead of using like an illustration, I used what would be output in the console for my actual program. And then this these milestone assignments made it so much more efficient for actually creating the game, and made it so much easier to like take all the pieces and just put them together. Like coding the actual program was a lot easier than it would have been if I hadn't done any of these it would have made it, I wouldn't have known where to start, and I wouldn't have anything to refer back to. It would be just my code, and I wouldn't know what it means. So it made it a lot more efficient and way easier to actually complete this program. Here's my storyboard, a little more close up, where it doesn't have illustrations, just the output from each one. And then we will run my program. I have my game class, and then my deck class, player, hand, and my card class. And then in my main method, it puts it all together, calls each one of the classes and all the methods within those classes, and plays a game. So let's run it real quick, and then scroll back up, and creates a deck, deals cards to each of the players, and then takes another card from the deck and makes it the first card, and then they play it out, and then eventually somebody wins, and in this case it was player one. Thank you.